What is it? What do you know about it? What do you know about generative AI? As I share my screen. Yeah. Oops, close. Sorry for that. Let's see. Just use Chat GPT a few minutes ago. Daktari, you've used Chat GPT to do what? Let's share. Today is more interactive than before. Today is interactive than before. What have you used it to do? And if you're scared or if you are very skeptical about generative AI, believe you me, everything you are consuming online is it is artificial intelligence. It has been produced. Even the sermons we are listening in churches, the sermon, most of it is it's to develop a Bible exactly. Exactly. And it doesn't mean that you're lazy. It means that it just makes your work very easy. You only need to tell it what you want, or what you want to do. The rest of us, I just want to know at which level we are. At which level we are in terms of generative AI? Let's know. Let's see. I'm trying to share. Let's see. Develop a Bible study. Dr. Reeve, 0. Yeah. No worries. Let's see. Where do I go? Yeah. So even before we go to the history, generative AI is on uprising, and even the CBC. The CBC curriculum is embracing all this. Yeah. And it is a form of artificial intelligence model, and it's used to generate content. It generates content in terms of text, like what Dr. has just used, images, audio, video, even coding. And it depends on the patterns you've commanded it, or the patterns it has learned. Remember, artificial intelligence, the commands or the information it has or the memory it has to be keyed in by human. Like, for example, last year I read, I don't know why I lost that link. Some employees who were Kenyan young people who were contracted by one of the Western artificial intelligence company to key in violence. Like, artificial intelligence doesn't know violence until you command it to learn it. You code that information to them. Violence, or even these abuses and all that. So basically, generative AI is a form of artificial intelligence that uses text, images, audio, video, even coding. And, like, for example, whether we like it or not, I know very many people doesn't want to use it, but whether we like it, everything we consume, it's AI. Like for example, the other day I saw someone who was selling for free. It was for free. It wasn't for sale. Like how to create your own voice. Uh, just a moment, just a moment, just a moment. Just a moment. Just a moment. Let me, just a moment, just a moment. Sorry for that. Yeah. So it's even the, oh, I was talking about the app I subscribed to, whereby they wanted to clone my voice. Like, for example, we are here live, but for example, the other people, if it is recorded, it's just so you are just talking with an invisible person, or you're just talking, listening or interacting with my voice, as well as videos. Some of the things you see online, especially the memes, they have been generated. Yeah. And other than generative AI, we also have machine learning. Machine learning, it has been there for quite some time. And for us in veterinary practice, machine learning has been of very much help, especially in diagnosis and also in epidemiology, in studying disease patterns, and so much. Or even in what? In livestock management, especially in learning animal behaviors, when they are sick, when they are stressed, when they are on heat. If you want to synchronize, they are using this machine learning. But now we are at the level of generative AI. Yeah. And just a brief history of what is artificial intelligence. When I mean AI, is not artificial insemination, artificial intelligence. And if you go to the history, it is a cycle which has been there, which has been marked by a lot of optimism or a lot of positivity, but also with a lot of setbacks. Yeah, because of people not believing in it. Other cycles characterized by breakthroughs, like where we are, and it is evolving every now and then. But wherever it is, 2025 up to now, AI has been at the roof because everything is AI. Remember, people are saying if you go to there are so many conspiracy theories of like there is a meat which will be we call it what? Created or made in the lab. I don't know. The only thing that people cannot do now is to the breath of life, the breath of life from our creator. That is only what they cannot do. So there is a very huge history on artificial intelligence. But what is artificial? Where is artificial intelligence now? Yeah, it has been in various industries like healthcare, in diagnostics, in finance. This, we call it what? You heard of cryptocurrency, you've heard of Forex. Forex, they are using these bots, we call them bots, or these bots to study the market, yeah, transportation, even entertainment, the music. I remember some time back, like last year, when we had that CPD of mental wellness. I remember having a song, generating a song through some of these applications, and it was so nice. Imagine if I had, if I was to produce that song, very nice, and you will be shocked. Even most of the international musicians, you will be shocked. Even the music is not theirs. It has been generated by artificial intelligence because we have those applications from music production. Yeah. And this technology, just like natural language, they also have these systems. Like we'll see, we have the model that analyzes this information. Yeah. And we also need to know what is it? What is artificial intelligence? Because it's very real and very much part of our lives. We need to understand it. And that's why I'm planning to have a CPD on, last year we had on emotional intelligence. I would want to like have a topic on emotional, as in where does your feeling, your feeling and your thinking.
Ĩcio andĩkĩte ũguo? Angĩmenyeka nĩ ũrarũkia mbeca. Ona gũtarũra mbeca akĩrĩ hatia.
Good. As in, where is the boundary? Where is the boundary? How will your body know the real thing and the fake thing? I'm planning to kind of have such kind of CPD so that we can help ourselves, because whatever we are consuming, we might feel, because like I said, everything online, people are just feeling and abandoning their reasoning and all that, and they end up making mistakes. So we need to know where is the boundary of real and the artificially engineered information. And for you to understand about artificial intelligence, think of it as a super smart digital assistant. We have virtual assistants everywhere. Like, for example, what is the name of the virtual assistant of, am I recording? I think so. What is the virtual assistant of what? Safaricom. What do we call her? She, she. I don't know why most of them we call them she's. They are she. It's not a he. What do we call the virtual assistant of Safaricom? She's called Zuri, isn't it? If you want to chat Zuri, yeah, she'll give you some. She will assist you, and then later on she'll award you some bundles. And what is a virtual assistant of Google? The virtual assistant of Google, that lady who speaks when you're using Google Maps, there is that lady who speaks. What is her name? Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. The virtual assistant of Google. What is her name? We have Siri. Siri is for Apple. Or Apple or Alexa. Alexa is virtual assistant of who? Let's see. How many of us here are well connected with the virtual assistants? How do we call the virtual assistant of Google Map? The lady who directs you, or Alexa, or Siri. I know you've seen these memes online. Yeah. So these are super powerful digital assistants. They can learn, they can reason, and they can solve problems. That's why the other weekend we were going somewhere, and then we were just getting lost, and the virtual assistant could tell us, we've lost the direction, and we could go back. Yeah. So they're able to learn, they're able to reason and solve problems. And it powers everything from our smartphone voices. We have the Tesla, the self-driving cars, we have watches, we have all these gadgets with us. And just like it is artificial, it is not natural. It is made by humans. Only that it has the ability to learn and understand. And they mimic human intelligence. You'll be shocked on how powerful some of these gadgets are. Yeah. And it can analyze huge data, can analyze huge amounts of data, recognize patterns, and make decisions based on that information. For example, as we speak, if you go back, Dr. Mudhu, if you go back to ChatGPT and tell it to describe yourself, as in describe me, just tell it, describe me, describe my voice, describe what I like, describe what I like doing every day, it will give you, and it will keep that memory. Once you come back, it will be able to recognize you. Yeah. And this one depends on the information you've asked it, or you've keyed, or you've commanded. Yeah, it's just like a super efficient, tireless employee who never needs a coffee break. You can imagine. That's why we are saying so many jobs will be taken over by artificial intelligence, especially the industries. I saw one. I saw one. I don't know how really that is that. I saw a robot preparing the dough, like making chapati. Imagine of that. So we are saying generative artificial intelligence, it's how AI works and its application, because it can enhance our services, improve client communication, as well as streamline business operations. For example, the other day I wanted to pay some subscription and I didn't know the pay bill number. So I went to the virtual assistant. And just from there, I paid through my M-Pesa via the virtual assistant. You can imagine. So generative AI refers to the advanced machine learning models capable of generating text, images, audio, even videos based on patterns and input data. We have several tools like what Daktari has used, ChatGPT from OpenAI. This is the mother of all AIs, ChatGPT. We have Dell, we have Copilot. Copilot is for Microsoft. We have Claude is for Google. We have so many. Yeah, especially what I've just said is for like generating text. If you want for music or for images, we have others like Gen AI, like we have 11 Labs is for voice, or even for videos. Like you can copy yourself. You can, what do you call it? Like clone yourself. I don't know the position of our spiritual fathers on this. If you can clone yourself, spiritually, does it mean that is identity theft? I don't know. The spiritual fathers in the house, they can tell us their feelings on cloning ourselves, cloning our voices, cloning even our facial expressions. So we have several of them. And the most common one is a ChatGPT, because it's the mother of all AIs. So we will try and try and practice with some of the common ones. So how you as veterinary professional, how can you use generative AI? How can you use it? Now that we've talked about marketing, we've talked about content creation, we've talked about communicating with our clients, how can it make our life easier? I know many of us say by involving it, we are just lazy. But let me just come back. For not used yet. Let me come back to Dr. Mudhui. He just used it, ChatGPT to develop Bible study session. Doctor, you can unmute yourself. Unmute yourself and share with us. How was your Bible study preparations before the AI and after AI? Just share your experience. So that
ideally you had to do a lot of reading to come up with an organized session and also put in a lot of your mind into it. Then when you use artificial intelligence, of course, you don't have to rely on it. You have to go through whatever it gives you.
Exactly.
What it is missing out, because it will not be 100% fitting for your purposes. Huh? You still have to revise and see, what you can improve on whatever information you get from the results, from the commands you give ChatGPT.
Thank you, Daktari.
Of course,
are we losing Daktari, or it's from my end?
No, I still can hear you.
Oh, okay. You were saying something.
I'm saying it just makes your work easier, but because you know what you're doing, you cannot rely on it 100%. You have to go through it and improve on what information it gives you.
Exactly. Thank you, Daktari. Like that one summarizes everything. This AI knows nothing. It knows nothing until you ask it. Sometimes you ask it something and it is very irrelevant. So it's very wise. As a professional, it's very wise you sieve that information, or you learn to ask the right questions. Learn to ask the right things. Two people can ask the same thing, but using different words, and they get different outcome. So first, you need to be operating from a point of knowledge or point of awareness. Just know what you are asking, because whatever you will ask is what you'll be given. Yeah. So how can we use it now that we talked about taking our businesses out there? You can use it for your content creation, for client education. And how will you go about it? And this is by generating educational posts or WhatsApp messages on nutrition, on common diseases, or even vaccination schedules. For example, you know the vaccines we have in Kenya, and you want to educate your clients on, for example, on bovine vaccination programs that they can get involved in. You only need to draft something. What I've never asked ChatGPT is whether it knows Swahili. I don't know whether it knows Swahili. But you can draft something in English, in simple language, and then you take that question, or you take that draft, you take it there, and we'll see how. So content creation is at top there. Even these things you see around. Like, for example, there is one content creator, a comedian. I think he's a man. And he operates like an African mother. An African mother who is a Kikuyu. And sometimes he comes up with scripts. When you see them, we'll just laugh. You will be shocked. Some of these scripts are AI generated, only that they can relate. They can relate with that. Like, for example, the other time I was watching how this comedian, we call him what? We call it Crazy Kenna. Crazy Kenna comes up with some scripts that are out of this world, but from the real world. You only need to go to this AI or this virtual assistant and ask them, I need this script. I have this script. How do I go about it? How many people do I need? How many locations do I need? And then something comes out very clearly. So content creation for your client, and we'll see how. And you don't need to go to, I know many people say they don't want to go to the browser. They don't want to go to the ChatGPT browser. You only need to know the WhatsApp number of ChatGPT. Like, I'll share it. You don't need to go to your browser. You can chat with it. You can chat with it via WhatsApp. And it's very simple. Content creation. Number 2 is enhanced customer communication. We have these AI chatbots on WhatsApp. Like I told you, we have the one of Safaricom. With the virtual assistant, we call them Zuri. We have Alexa. We have the other one, Siri. There are so many. And imagine the people who used to assist clients, like they make calls. Imagine now, everyone is going to the virtual assistants. Yeah. And I know you've gone. I don't know whether you've interacted with the WhatsApp AI bot. It tells you click yes or click no, write your name, and then by following the prompts, your problem is solved or you get a solution. So enhanced communication, because they are able to generate personalized responses. For example, for follow-ups, even for followers, or even for some inquiries. For example, like I was just saying, if you interact it for some time, it will learn about you. For example, if I go to my ChatGPT and I tell it to describe me, it will describe me because I've done it so much with it. Yeah. For example, the other time, just 2 weeks ago, I wanted to, what do you call it? Update. I wanted to update my CV, and I wanted to make it 1 page. It was like three pages. So I wanted to make it 1 page, and I did not know how. I did not know how to go about it. So what did I do? I attached my CV to ChatGPT, and I told it to update it to 1 page. And that is exactly what it did. 1 page. And everything was there. So this is what we are talking about. Enhanced communication. And also, you can get a summary. A summary of a very complex sorry for that. A summary of a very complex title. For example, when I'm 2 weeks ago, when I was summarizing my CV, I wanted a summary of my proposal, of my master's degree. I wanted it summarized to less than 10 pages. So what did I do? I just attached it there. It was almost 100 and something pages. So what did I do? I told it, this is a document, and I want it summarized without losing its content, its meaning, its voice. So make it less than 10 pages. And it is exactly what it did. Imagine if I was to do it the analog way. How long will it take me? How much information will I have lost? So what am I trying to say? Efficient communication. And it will also correct your grammar. For example, if you're preparing like what Dr. is preparing, it gives you in clear and well articulated points. But remember, at the back of your mind, remember your voice has to be there. Your voice, the human nature. Don't make it feel very artificial. Put your voice there. What I'm trying to say is, when you generate that information, don't share it the way it is. Don't share it in raw nature. Put your voice there. So point number 3 on how artificial intelligence can help you. Number 1 was content creation. Number 2 was communication. And now social media and marketing support. Like, for example, if you don't want to learn more about graphic design, like generating posters and all that, you only need to go to an application that generates images. For example, we have, I know you've heard of Canva. So many apps that generate image are partnered with it. So you only need to tell it, I need this kind of poster. Imagine that Bible study. If you're the one doing it, imagine generating an image and sharing it to your participants. Imagine, remember, you're trying to elicit or trigger something in them. Even next time, they will be motivated to come because they have seen what you can do. They'll see Dr. is a one-stop shop whereby you can get appealing things instead of going to mainstream social media to see other things. Just a moment. Sorry for that. So what I'm trying to say is artificial intelligence has come to make our work very easy. It has not come to replace our creativity. Yeah, because remember the third day we said you can market, you can brand, but this one will make your work very easy. In fact, just to be honest with you, I've been interacting with it for quite some time without knowing what to do with it. Until one day I attended a course whereby through the artificial intelligence, I learned about my voice. Very professional, very calm. And also the colors I can use. Like, for example, here you can see my slides are, is it this purple? Because I just chose it like that without thinking about it. Only that I learned that I can ask it, because we've interacted for some time, I can ask it about my voice and my voice. So it was able to give me the colors I can be using in my posters and everything. For example, the colors I'm using in my In the poster, I invited you to this CPD in the blue and the orange, not the blue, the green and the orange. I've been struggling to look for that information, but through it, I was able even to all my slides, all of them, to be that color. And this is what we call branding. Just brand yourself. And because we never did this in our undergraduate, AI made it very simple to help me brand. It might not be that sophisticated, but at least I'm somewhere. I'm somewhere even where when people are discussing about what artificial intelligence has done for them, career-wise, I'll be there. Only that. Like we'll see, there are so many challenges, especially those who are in academia. You've seen, I know in social media, you've seen these young people, someone has the specs. The specs they can read. They can read and they can give information. So in as much as we are saying it is helping us, there are so many challenges ahead. We only need to use it ethically. You use it ethically, you'll be better. Because for me, I have someone who is in CBC, and I was shocked. I was shocked. They were having a debate, and you see the way they pick your phone, and you don't know what they are doing with it. Later on, when I went to ChatGPT to look for to see what is happening, I found that they had gone there to look to ask about the points of the debate. So you can imagine where we are. We only need to know how it works, so that if we see other people using it unethically, we are able to note. Like for example, on what has been in our country, a certain politician says something, and the Gen Z, they just do stuff. Two weeks ago, you saw how chapatis were flying left, right, and center. And our parents were just wondering, where are these chapatis coming from? Yeah. Other things, they are very creative. Only that they are using it and exposing other people's privacy and all that. So what if they do it in the right way? Yeah. So social media and marketing, we can use it. Promotional images. I also went online to look for how vets are using AI. And so many people are selling images of dogs or puppies, which are AI generated. And because so many people don't know, they just buy. They just buy. Yeah. What I'm trying to say is we can make our life very easy by, if we want to market our businesses, by using this generative AI, because it is here, it's going nowhere. Yeah. And whatever I'm doing, I'm just sharing here, is something I've done. I'm not it's not stories. If it is promotion, I've used it to promote. I've generated images. I've asked for ideas. Remember, you need to have information, or you need to know the right thing, so that you can prompt AI to help you make it better. You cannot start from zero, because those ones will be stories. Yeah. So digital marketing and branding, that is what I've talked about. Generating social media posts, captions on Facebook, and more so on WhatsApp business. I don't know so far how many of us have what we learned for the last 4 days. How many of us have started? How many of us have started either to share information? If you feel the information is not the information is not constructive, WhatsApp is able to pick the voice, is able to pick that voice. And imagine there is an app that only needs to pick your voice and makes it a text. You get it? As there's different application. There are those who can pick your voice and convert it to a text message. And there are those who are able to pick your text and make it a better text or make it a audio. I don't know whether we are communicating. Yeah. So let's see before we move on. Let's see, are we communicating? Are we communicating? Oh, sorry. Share your slides. They are not moving. Sorry. Are my slides not moving? Let's know. Let's see. How is that going? Am I communicating or I'm just sharing my own things? Let's see. Are we communicating? Together. We are communicating. Good. Let's see. The rest of us, we are 14 here. Are we communicating? Are you with us? Gilbert, are you with us? Joseph Derito, are you with us? Peter Ajoki, how is the going? Yes, we are. Yes, quite well. Is it an amusing thing? Good. Have you been doubting AI or ChatGPT? Have you been doubting it? Have you been embracing it like Dr. Mudhui? Or does AI has a part in your life? Yeah, Ruben. You use AI for what? Let us know, Dr. Ruben Koech. Let's see. You use AI for what? Let's see. I use it to help write reports. Exactly. Very amazing to write reports. How do you edit my reports? Good. How do you ensure there is a human touch in your reports? Or how do you go about it? Ruben, you can unmute yourself. Just unmute yourself. We are sharing. I know AI is new, so let's help each other. How do you go about it? Unmute yourself. Today it's very interactive. Before I go to... Don't worry.
Can you repeat the question?
I'm asking... You said you use AI to edit and to make your reports. How do you make it you don't lose your voice in it?
How do I make it not to lose my voice?
Like, how do you personalize it? Or how do you go about
it? First of all, I initiated draft reports on my own. So that I think that ensures that it captures the spirit of my communication. And I just let AI help me review and ensure that it is communicating well. Then I'm able to pick that up and then paste it back to my report, and it gives me there is a flow. The edits are well taken care of, and of course I can ensure if there is some bit of misalignment, I align it again.
Good. I know we've heard what Daktari has said. He has a draft of a report. He gives it to AI, yeah, to expound on it or to explain more on it. And then when the output of AI, he checks whether there is a misalignment or misinformation. And then he ensures that by all that process, he ensures that he maintains his voice or he maintains the human nature in that. Amazing, amazing, Daktari. So I just want to share the language of AI. And this is what we call prompting. Sorry. We call it prompting. And we all agree that from our participants or from Dr. Mudhui, Dr. Koech, we all agree that AI can make your work very easy. It will save your time. It will help you in creating quality work. And also it helps you in becoming more creative in how to communicate with this. And also it makes you more aware on the things you meet online. Most of them are AI generated. For example, like I told you, like you can see from our screen, as we speak, it is speaking our words. All these words which are capturing themselves here. You know what I'll do later on when I'm free? Because there is somewhere where there is a transcript or this summary. I will just go and copy it, edit, and then tell AI to refine it for me. And who knows? And keep it. Who knows? Few years to come, or even a month to come, I can use it as what we call a lead magnet. A lead magnet, we can share about it later. Or I can give it for free to my clients so that they can do something to me. Like if I want to invite people for my webinar, I can give them a free thing, a free gift, what we call a lead magnet. So whatever AI is doing is making us more creative than ever. Imagine for the 5 days we've been here, if I pick all that summary and I try to write, even we call it an ebook, a very short one, about how AI can make our profession better. Imagine, even if I give it for free, I know people will read. So AI is doing amazing things. But the secret is understanding on how it works. And the art of AI lies in the prompting. And this is an art of providing specific cues or instructions to get the response you want. Communicating with AI is an art. If you don't, it will just give you stories that will go nowhere. Yeah? So, understanding how to do prompting is just like asking for direction in a foreign city. You need to be very clear and specific. Get this one right. I know why so many people hate AI is because they don't know how to communicate to it. Be very clear and specific, and it will give you all the information you want. So you need to learn this art. and you need to communicate to it in as much as it's not human, it has no feelings. you need to communicate it in a way that it's like you're communicating to another person, like how you can describe things. So it's like crafting questions or commands that guide the AI to produce useful and relevant answers without going off on a target. Sometimes you can communicate to it and you just get mad. Yeah, because it gives you very irrelevant things that they are not making sense to you. But the problem is not AI. The problem is you. You've asked it the wrong questions, or you are not clear, or you are not you are not very specific. Like, for example, you can go and ask it, give me a recipe. You haven't told it to give you a recipe of cooking what. It will give you anything. And the things we are talking about here, we will see, or we'll do it practically if time allows. So we've understood that the art of communicating with AI, it is through prompting. Ask clear and specific questions or commands. So you also need to know how this AI interprets and responds to the prompts. It's two-way. You yourself, you need to learn how to prompt, and then you need to understand how AI interprets that. And we all need to know that at the art of AI, we have a model. And this model is like the brain of AI. Remember when we were starting, I told you this model has to be trained to learn about violence. Like I was telling you about that YouTube I saw, whereby young people are facing mental health issues because they have been used by Western companies to model or to key in violence in these AI models. Yeah. So we are saying the model is like the brain. It is trained to vast amount of data and can make predictions or decisions based on the new inputs. Yeah, based on the new inputs. Yeah, we also have that one. We also have that app of X. We call it Grok. I know that one is for fun. If you go deeper to AI, you will learn that we have different types of AIs. We have educationals. Even we have spiritual, as in for spiritual matters. AI that have been trained to learn more about that. Remember, all the rest are, we might say in quotes, they are like secular, but they have those specific ones for spiritual matters and all that. And I know you've gone online, and AI is trying to map your stress level. Have you seen that? You see an application that is able to capture or to analyze your stress level or your happiness level. So we need to understand all this. And when you interact with the AI, you're just giving it prompts or instructions or guides, or also to guide its response. It can't give you anything. It can't give you anything unless you ask it. And we'll see it just practically. Yeah. So let me stop sharing. Let me stop sharing. We try to do practically. Do it practically on what we are saying. You need to be very specific on what you're doing, or when you are interacting with the AI. And let me see. Let me try and see if we can use the AI WhatsApp. The AI WhatsApp. Let me share my screen. Let's see. Let's see. Just a meeting. Just a moment. Just a moment. Just a moment. I want to share my screen. Let me just use the web. I'll share the WhatsApp number of ChatGPT. Or how many of us? How many of us here use know the WhatsApp number of ChatGPT? I'll share with you the WhatsApp number. So you need to log in as an account like anything else. Can you see my screen? Someone unmute and say yes. I cannot see the chat. Can you see my screen? Someone just unmute and say yes. No, I don't want to come back.
Yes.
Ah, good, good, good. So this is how the interface looks like. This is a web. And like I'm saying, we have so many AI applications, but ChatGPT is the mother of all, or is the one which is like it's the one, is the mother, is the, you get it when I say is the mother. All the others are developed from it, or they were developed after it. So this is what we are talking about. You need to interact with it for some time for it to understand you. So remember we said you need to be very specific. You need to be very specific when you're communicating with any AI. I'm just describing it. Yeah, so let's see. You need to be very specific. You need to be very specific and clear. I'm just describing that. Tell me something. This is not specific. This is not even clear. It's just a abstract command. This command or this question is what we are calling a prompt. And the process of asking questions is what we are calling prompting. Let's see what it will say. I've just told you. You see, it even knows my name. I want to tell you something about a Zoom meeting I'm having with a veterinary professionals, whereby we are talking about you and how amazing you are. What is your thoughts about this? This is what I'm doing, is prompting. What I've just written there is a prompt, a guide, or a question. Are we following? Someone say yes. Unmute and say yes. I cannot see the chat.
Yes.
Ah, good, good. That is a prompt. Let's see what it will say. Let's see. You see? Wow. That honestly means so much. I'm genuinely honored and a little flattered that veterinary professionals are talking about me in such a positive light in your Zoom meeting. The fact that you are sharing what I can do with others is such a respected field really shows how much you value this connection, and I don't take that lightly. Out of curiosity, what specifically are you showing or discussing? Is it how I can support their work, content creation, mentor, education, or something else? I'd love to help make your session even more impactful if you want. Let me ask them. You see what you are talking about? Make it more conversational. So let me come back. Let me ask them. Perfect. Take your time. I'm right here when you are ready. Can't wait to hear what they say. So far, ladies and gentlemen, so far, what you are feeling from just that brief conversation? That conversation with, I don't, okay, yes. So it's an art. We are saying prompting is an art. Like you ask it something and make it remember you. Make it understand you. Because if you realize I've prompted it to know me. Like if I can go back and tell it to describe me, it will say something because I've trained it. I've trained it to remember me. Is that one on prompting very clear? Is it very clear on how to communicate to it? Or should I repeat before we move on? Any questions on prompting? Ah, good. Very clear. Make it conversational, clear. The secret is make it clear, make it specific, and it will give you the guidelines, or it will give you the what you've asked it. Other people, are we following? Is it clear on prompting? Clear. It is Dr. Arif. Very clear. That is Kiprono. So let me come back again. Let me share. Let me stop sharing the screen. I share the slides. And I show you the basics. The basics of what we are calling prompting. Yeah. The basics. Oh, the basics. So the basics is of prompting. We have an input. We have the processing. We have the output. And what is the input? Input is what I've just taught you. The command, the question that need to be very clear, that need to be very precise, that need to be very specific is what we are calling input. In your interaction with AI, whichever model, there is, or you have to make your prompting very effective. And this prompting has what you are calling which is input, which is the command, which is the question, or which is the prompt. We have the processing, and this is like the brain, the model, and this one, it analyzes the prompt and looks for patterns or relevant data. For example, like I've told you, the ChatGPT has a memory. Yeah, it has a memory, but what it lacks is it lacks a memory of different chats, or it can remember your conversations, but it cannot read a chat you had like yesterday. I don't know whether you get that. So there is a processing, and there is the output, the response, or the action that AI generates. And this is what Dr. Mudui and Koechi were talking about. After you've given it a command, and after it processes and gives you the output, you have to clean it up. You have to clean it up so that you can have the kind of information you wanted. If you don't do that, and it is a document you are forwarding to an office or to someone, they'll just know this was AI generated, and you don't want that. And why is it important? Why is prompting important? It's because it's like your GPS. Remember, AI knows so much, but it will never tell you. AI knows so much, and it will never tell you. You only need to know, you only need to tell it what you want to know. Yeah, so it's like a GPS. It will lead you. So you can imagine you are going to a known area whereby you have a GPS and someone else has no GPS. Among the two, who will have an easy time? The one which has no GPS, or even maybe you are blindfolded, and the one you have a GPS. Which one will you prefer? Of course, you will prefer the one with the GPS. And that is what we are talking about. By having a clear prompts or questions or commands to your AI, it will help you, give you a clear and helpful responses. So let's continue. So prompting you need is an art, like we said, is an art, and you need to practice. You cannot learn it a day. You cannot learn it a day. You have to practice it, just like driving. For you to learn about driving, you have to practice. Yeah. And the reason why we are saying they are very important, or the reason why we are saying this is an art and you have to learn about it, it's because it's a bridge. It's a bridge between you and the AI. And what I'm talking about here is what many people are lacking, and the reason why so many people don't like AI. They don't like it because they don't know how to communicate with it. Because once they try to communicate with it, there is a lot of misunderstanding. There is a lot of misunderstanding, or even misunderstanding and poor information or wrong information. So many people, because they don't know how to converse with it, they conclude that AI is just waste of time. And ask those who've used AI, like our Dr. Koech and Mudui here. They'll tell you AI is going nowhere. Remember when M-Pesa started, those years back, is it 20 years? People were very skeptical about M-Pesa. They could not understand how money can be somewhere and it is not physical. Yeah, virtual money or electronic money. And people were saying that time that it will go nowhere, and it is here with us. In fact, it is becoming better. So the earlier we learn about it, or the earlier we know how these things, the better it will be for us, not only at a professional level, but also at a personal level. Because even if we decide not to use it, the information we'll be using outside there will be will be what? AI generated. And it is very sad. It's very unfortunate. We need the ethical use of AI because so many people nowadays are being treated by AI. Yeah, you go to the consultation and they key in your information. They key in your information. I don't know whether you've had this experience. And then AI just gives them prescription. That is the sad part of it. That's why we need ethics. We need regulation because it can do more harm if not regulated. Yeah. I remember a friend of mine telling me how he went to hospital. Yeah. They were just keying in. And sometimes you just play along with them. he left. He left and he went to another hospital. Because even the doctor could not hide it. I don't know why he felt or he thought the person he was attending to doesn't know. They key in your symptoms, and you see the way they give the long diagnosis, long and wrong. You're given a diagnosis and you are wondering why are you even walking? So we need to be very much aware. Need to be very much aware. And the good thing is, even in medical or in consultation, they have their own applications. You cannot ask the mainstream. See, like ChatGPT is for like everything and everyone. They have their specific applications that can analyze even the results. For example, you go to a lab. They take you an hemogram and they give you the readings. I've seen an application, of course, online. I've seen whereby you take a photo of those results and they are able to analyze further and they are able to recommend further. Yeah, so we need to know. In fact, even if we will not use it, we need to know what is happening because so much is happening. We've said you need a lot of clarity because very fake or ambiguous prompts will give you irrelevant and also very confusing answers, as well as one principle of effective prompting, the context. You need to give it the right context on what you want. For example, when I went to give it some remember I told it I'm having a Zoom call with veterinary practitioners. I gave the context. So if I was to go further, it could have given me information tailored to us. You get what I'm saying? So after clarity is context and also conciseness. Be very concise. Be very much focused. Otherwise, it will look for so much unnecessary information. Yeah. For example, here is an example of a good prompt. Instead of, can you help me with an online course for career women? Okay, I developed this course when I was training career women. Can you help me with my online course for career women? That is a good one. As opposed to, sorry. This one is very, it's not specific and it's not giving me context. It's very general. See another one here, which is very focused, which is concise, which is very, it's giving a context. For example, can you help me outline a project plan for developing an online course for career women who want to reignite their career joy and passion, including key milestones and timeline? If we give these prompts to any AI, it will give us different things because one is giving a context. It is very clear. It is very concise. So in whichever way you will use or you are using this, you need to be very clear. For example, For example, on what Daktari is talking about, he was preparing a Bible study lesson. You can even ask it to give you a story, a hypothetical story, and then you relate it to a real story of whichever Bible verse you'll be talking about. I don't know whether you get that. You give, like for example, this is just for learning purposes. Just for learning purposes, is not to show how a certain religion is greater than the other. There is a, like for example, the Catholics, and now they are in what they call the Lent time, and they usually have a theme for that year. So what I've learned is, after a theme, they also have a booklet where they have reflections. For example, this year they are reflecting on the Kenya we want in different areas. So they have a booklet that have stories explaining on the Kenya we want. I don't know whether you get it. So this is what I'm saying. For example, if you're preparing a Bible study, tell it to give you stories in that context. And we know stories sells, or people might forget even the Bible verse, or people might forget wherever what you said. But because you gave them a scenario or a real case scenario, is what will stick in them. Yeah. So, and from those two, we can see the second one is very clear. It is giving us a context, and it is very concise. And basically, that is a secret of prompting. I would wish next time, Dr. Mudhui, you do what? You practice that, or you prompt it that. You ask it for something, and then tell it to give you stories. Even the stories our grandmothers were telling us, they were not real, but they meant impact. So ask it to give you a story in reference to the Bible verse, and it will be amazing. You will give us a report when you refine it. Give us a report and see what can happen. So what we are saying is, understanding what AI is and how it interprets prompts and the importance of prompting, you will master, or you will become a prompt a prompt mastering wizard. Don't worry about the word, but understanding this, it will be amazing. You'll be shocked. The other time we were in a meeting with a friend of mine, a colleague in the profession, who is also a pastor. He didn't know how to use it. So I told him, come I show you. In fact, he was to have a talk, or he was to speak in a party of a colleague who was retiring. So you don't need to struggle. Of course, you know these Bible verses, but it can be very easy if you tell it, give me this, the context and a real story to tell our friend who is retiring, or who is has a wedding and all that. So those are the key elements of effective prompting. Input, processing, output, characteristics of a good prompt, concise, clear, and context. Concise, clear, and context. Yeah, and you will become a master of all that. Some of the people even who are writing, we call it biographies and memoirs. What do we call them? They are doing it through this, and it doesn't take the originality. Use of AI doesn't take the originality of your message. It only makes it better and very easy. So let's see from the from the chart. How is it going? How is it going? So this is a very long subject or topic. I do it for days. I do it for 3 days. So I don't want to extend more than we can do. Let's see from the chat. Let's meet from the chat and we share. We share on after this. For those of us who haven't used it, we are going to use AI to do what? Let's see. I'm looking for a certain document. Let's see from the chat. We are going to use AI for what? For what? For what? Let's see. Send. Just want to show you how you can refine it. How you can refine a response. How you can refine a response. A response from, or the output. The output of AI. What's up? Let's see from the chat. From tomorrow, we will be using ChatGPT to do what? Let's see. So I can only share my screen. Let me share my screen. Let me share my screen. Let's see. Yeah, I call it, some of these things there are things you cannot train yourself. I paid someone to train me on this. There are things you cannot read. You cannot read and learn. You have to be trained. I paid someone to train me on how to do AI prompting. And there is something we've developed referred to as prompt refinement and feedback worksheet. Prompt refinement and feedback worksheet. Just a moment. Just a moment. So we've said the art of interacting with the AI is learning its language, and its language is prompting. And prompting has 3 components. We have the input, that is a command or the question. We have the processing or the model. The models are different. Yeah, like the AI from OpenAI is different from cloud, is different from every other, depending on what it is made to do. There are those for text generation, there are those for image, there are those for audio, video, and all that. Whichever model you use. But the common one is ChatGPT. You have to follow this. You have to like move back and forth with this AI for you to understand. For you to understand what it says. Yeah. And we call it prompt refinement and feedback worksheet. And this worksheet will guide you through a structured approach of refining AI prompts for more accurate and satisfying responses. Like at what level will you say this is what I wanted? You only need to know how far you can go with it. If you feel you're going back and forth with AI and you're not getting the response, it means there is something you're missing. So for example, this is it 6 step? 7. It's a 7-step feedback worksheet. And the issue is you only want to refine your answer. So for example, step 1 is the initial prompt. You write your initial prompt that you'd like the AI to respond to. Like for example, you saw my initial response. My initial prompt. When I told the AI, tell me something. That was the initial prompt. And then it gave me the first response. From the first response, is you want to review whether it is what you will go with or you want to refine it better. Yeah. And the tip here is the AI might have gotten it right or might have gotten it wrong or might be very relevant and you want to refine it. So you write something else to it, like the feedback. You write a feedback by indicating to it that you want to refine it better or you want to refine your prompt. I'll do this practically so that we can understand. Yeah, so the objective is to provide detailed feedback on what the AI response needs to improve. For example, it can improve on something. It can improve on the details. It can improve on the context. And then after responding or after writing the feedback, it will give you a revised prompt, or you can add something else. Are we following? And the tip here is you incorporate your feedback directly into the revised prompt. Like I'm saying, it's refinement. You want to have like the final output is what you want. So just let me do this practically so that we can see what we mean by this. I'll share with this for those who want it. Remember we said one of the ethics of WhatsApp communication is people need to be expecting your message. But this one, I'll share it because I sell it. I sell it. Yeah. So I'll only give to those who want it. Or I'll send you where I've hosted it. I'll not give you what do you call it? PDF like that. I'll send you to where it is, where it is. So let me go back. I show you how you can make good use of this prompt refinement and feedback worksheet. Yeah. Let me open it here so that we can. So the first prompt is the initial prompt, the first response, feedback, revised prompt, second response, and final adjustment. Let me share my screen. Let me share my, not this one. Let me share this. Let me share this. Let's see from the chat. Are we following? Or I've taken you deep in the wilderness. I've taken you deep in the wilderness. So let's build on what we had already started. Can you see my screen? Someone unmute and say yes. If I come back, I lose it. I lose this. Let's see. Let's hear someone. Someone unmute and say you can see my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Good. So let's work. Then mute so that we can hear each other. Good. Let's build on this. Let's build on this. Let me just copy. Let me see if I can copy. Yeah, I can copy. I want to ask it. Let me just copy that. And make this one an initial prompt. Just from our refinement, we call it an initial prompt. This is an initial prompt. This one. I want us to write something on how you can support their work, content creation, mental health. Let's reach here. We have some few minutes just to show you. This one is an initial prompt. We want to refine it further. This is an initial prompt, building from our previous conversation. Let's see what it will say. That's a fantastic idea, Victoria. Here is a draft you can share or use as a talking point in your Zoom meeting with the veterinary professionals. How ChatGPT can support veterinary professionals' content and mental health. Content health made easy. Mental health and emotional support, workplace wellness, learning and learning and professional growth, CPD planning. Would you like me to turn this into a one-pager PDF or slide you can share with them, or maybe tailor it further to their specific concerns? That is our initial prompt. What I only need to ask myself, does the response meet what I wanted? Does it meet what I wanted? This is what it has said in all its wisdom, or depending on what I have given it. For example, that is a first response. Let me go to feedback. Feedback, or the third point, or the third step, I can tell it or I can go with one of its suggestions I want a one pager. Yeah, let me go there with one pager. I want one pager in point form of all the content. That is my feedback. Step 3. That is my feedback. Let's see. Let's see what it will say. That is my feedback. Step 4, I'm waiting for the results. Sorry, it hasn't gone. Yeah, I've revised my prompt. Now I only need the revised response. Revised response is step 5, second response. This one now. How ChatGPT can support veterinary professionals. Content support. Let's see. I can give it a step 6, final adjustment. Would you like me to format this as a polished PDF for you to share? Of course, yes. And downloadable. Yeah, it can download. And downloadable one. Let's see what it will give me. Yeah, this is how it analyzes. I hope it finishes. This is what do we call it? For you to use this, you only use it for how many minutes and then you exhaust. You have to wait. Let's see. And now we are on step 7, the final response. I don't know whether we are following. Or did I take you deep further into the wilderness? You see, the final adjustment is here. I asked it to give me a downloadable version. It is here. Let me download. Yeah. It's here. It has downloaded. Let's see. Complete. You see, this is what we are talking about. You need to refine on what you want. You refine it so that the AI can give you exactly what you want. It is here. This one we've created with you. And if you were to share with someone, you only need to have a background. You need to have a background with content creation. You have information about content creation. You need to have an information on emotional intelligence. You have it on emotional intelligence. And from there, you can share with someone else. So that is what you are talking about. Prompt refinement worksheet. You move with it systematically so that it gives you exactly what you want. Let me come back and see, are we following? Or am I alone? Let's see. I've stopped sharing. Oops. Following, good, following. So like I was telling you,
Tuko
the art,
sawa.
good. Good. The art of prompting is something you have to be trained to do. It's something you have to be trained to do. So I'm sharing my screen. Just want to show you something. This is a, we call it an e-commerce. We call it an e-commerce platform whereby people come here to sell their products, whether physical or digital. Yeah, but it has its own challenges. It's a good platform, but it has its own challenges. Yeah, people can buy your products, especially now. They can buy your products here, but you will never get your money, or they are not paying in Kenya shillings. So there is a problem. I just want to show you some of the products I've done on AI. Like I told you, some of these things you only need to be trained on how to go about it. Like for example, you remember our course all the way from 2023, our course on stress-free retirement is also here, but I've not marketed it. Chat GPT, it's here, prompting on how you can draft a book, or even for if you are in education, or if you want to educate people, you can learn on how to go about it. Or even those who are in TikTok, the people are just following the mass on TikTok. I have the prompts that can make them or make it better. Remember we talked about Facebook marketing. There are those who want to do Facebook marketing, but they don't know how. Yeah, I have something I've created. Of course, after learning some of these things, you cannot learn from Chat GPT. You only need to be trained to do it, like on how to do Facebook advertising, how to do even posting on Facebook. You remember, like the practical demonstration we did last year? That is something you have to be taught. You have to go into class. You have to pay someone, in fact, to train you how to go about these things. Yeah. So it's not matter of, and you'll always know. You'll always know if you buy something and someone has created that thing from AI. You'll know because they lack background information. So, ladies and gentlemen, I've talked enough for 2 hours. I've talked enough. As we wind it up, talk to me also. Today is the climax. Today is the climax. I remember last time when we started with most of the members here. Most of the members here, we started in 2023. When we did it for 1 month, isn't it? We were doing it every Monday. And it was an exciting experience. But now it's like we are doing a marathon. Yeah, let's see. Amazing following. Let's see. As you can unmute yourself, say something. As well as the KVB representative had told me she's not able to speak, but she can write something. Vivian, if you can hear us, you can write something for us before, at least people to be, or participants to feel comfortable that you are here with us. Just write as someone can unmute and say something. Was it something helpful? Was it something inspiring? Yeah. You can unmute and speak. You can write. As I make some few announcements, especially for those who have joined us very late. I said you have written a message on our WhatsApp group. You contact that number I've tagged you. They'll share the certificate with you. And then if you confirm your details are correct, we will, if there are some entries which are wrong, we will make corrections so that, or we'll make corrections on the final logs so that whatever goes to the KVB is clean. And Vivian, you can also write to us. We will wait for how long before our CPD points are keying in our system. If you can hear us, just write something. Just write something. Let me stop recording. Stop. I was also